Dear diarrhea full of shit. Just play along with myself and no one else. Here you go. I'm so legit. I'm watching another episode of Our Oceans. This one is the Arctic Ocean. As I said, my first assessment was about 60% is CGI and or AI. And then they have some minor, easy to get, stock footage, of the Arctic from some other show at some other time. And they're telling the story. I get it. This is an easy way to just make a series, instead of actually, because you can make the animals do whatever you want. But the problem is, it's animals behaving unnaturally. The polar bears look pretty real, but I could be wrong, but and not to sound like a nerd or anything, actually, shut the fuck up. I'm not wrong here. There's a bigger point that I'm making here. It's not just, it's inaccurate. It's the end of truth, and reality. As I said, it's over. It's fucking over. And I remember Mr. Pellet said that probably 2 or 3 years ago. He's like, truth is going to be invaluable. But when the mama bear is pulling the baby bear off the ice, I'm looking real close to see, if the skin moves and how it grabs it, and it looked fake to me, but what really got me is the polar bear kind of held its hand out, its left paw, to support the baby. And I think, maybe it's real, but I don't think so, but a real polar bear, you can't help the baby, if you're compromising your own balance. And there was no reason for it to put the paw, you know what I mean? Because polar bears don't have opposable thumbs. So it's either trying to comfort the polar bear, which is bullshit, or it's putting pressure on the polar bear into the ice, which is going to not help with the raising upwards of the polar bear. It grabbed it by the back of the neck, cats carry their kittens and stuff. I don't know if puppies do that, but anyway, it just seemed like bullshit to me. It seemed like bullshit. The hesitation, and like I said, it looked fake. There's two things. And then the paw is the third thing that just seems like bullshit. And right now it's the walruses. Apparently the female walrus is pregnant, and blah blah blah. Barack Obama's just the narrator. He may have had a hand in what's being said and whatnot, but they said they find the biggest piece of ice and they basically cuddle in close for warmth. So I'm thinking, is that a luxury? Because they're in the Arctic, right? They're literally laying on a giant ice cube. So if they're pressing their bodies together to exchange body heat, the fact that you're laying your body on a giant ice cube doesn't make any sense to me. If your skin is, conducive enough to share body warmth, then the fact that these animals are on a giant ice cube means that they're going to be losing body heat fast. Do you follow me? It doesn't make any fucking sense to me. And, just like I said, weak people make hard times. Some Karen or Kyle just decided to fucking state it like that. They're cut. As you can see, the walruses try and find the biggest piece of ice to have their babies on. They cuddle for warmth. You know, and it's like they have no fucking idea what they're saying. No fucking idea. You know? They just totally screwed the fucking pooch on that. And they're, you know, it's like, I can, not to sound like Bill Whittle, but the arrogance to assume that they could just spit out some fucking garbage that they just made up, like literal story time. You know? They try and find the biggest piece of ice and then they cuddle for warmth. They live in the fucking Arctic. If it's so important, you know what I'm saying, dog? Makes no fucking, it's over. It's fucking over. It was, maybe it was written by AI. But it could just as easily be, just a person. So, and them orcas, really, a pack of orcas couldn't, and all that shit, they're breaking the thing apart and flipping ice, and it was in the water, and it seemed like that would have been a prime opportunity. And what's wrong with them? How come their colors aren't so shiny and shit? They look all faded. So I'm watching this show, like I said, because I notice shit like that, you know what I mean? If I'm watching some old Western, it's like, food, water, shelter, sleeping, and getting your rest, and it's important. This, I don't know, man. It's over. It's fucking over. Oh, by the way, yesterday I watched The Gods Must Be Crazy 2. I actually have it, quote unquote, purchased on Amazon Prime, or maybe it was Netflix. No, I'm pretty sure it was Amazon Prime. Just a good old feel-good movie. I've mentioned it before. It's been a while since I've seen it. I guess I was in the mood for nostalgia. And there's a guy in there who kind of looks like Tom Selleck, but it's not him. Like the male, I believe, main character. I believe it's called the protagonist, and then the antagonist is like the bad guy. But anyway, it popped up a suggestion for Quigley Down Under. And I've never seen that movie in its entirety. I've seen clips on it on YouTube before. It was a while ago. I think I may have even shouted it out. I don't know. I can't remember why I would have. But I've seen, little shorts or whatever, it was, a year and a half, 2 years ago, whatever, for Quigley Down Under, and, never really got around to watching it, didn't put it on my list or whatever, but watched it, and it does have Tom Selleck in it, but it's more of that fake shit, that flow. In The Gods Must Be Crazy 2, there's a hyena scene where they're like, I'm a hyena. And then in Quigley Down Under, there's a hyena scene where there's a bunch of hyenas, and they're like, hey, I'm a hyena, she's a hyena, he's a hyena, we're all a bunch of hyenas. So, and they were trying to get the kid. They were trying to get the one kid, well, whatever. So, it is what it is. So, clearly that must be something. What else was there? It seems like there was something else. I guess that's it. But, what are the odds? But I don't know, man. I don't know about, like I said, now I'm just repeating myself. Cuddling walruses for warmth. Okay.